The Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. We are recapping the Super Bowl, going to touch lightly on some free agency if we have time, and much more.
This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What up, my dudes? This is Trent here with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. I am joined by Phil, Jordan, Seth in the back, running the cameras. I don't know if we really need to recap our weekends, but Jordan, you're a little fired up. You know, I watched the Super Bowl with Jordan. Does this game, Jordan, does this hurt Jalen Hurts' legacy, losing the Super Bowl?
No.
I think I just threw you off a little bit right there, you know, coming out swinging with the Jalen Hurts question. But
No, I don't think so.
Overall, what do you guys think of the game? Phil, what do you think?
I was excitingly bored throughout the game.
What? Really? I don't know what that means, but
here's what it means. There were peaks. There were like peaks. But most of the game was just kind of boring. I felt like I felt like Dallas Goedert had a good game. I enjoyed watching him. I enjoyed watching Jalen Hurts. Like I thought he was really fun to watch. But other than that, and maybe it's just because I'm a Chiefs hater, like it just wasn't that fun.
That's what I was going to ask. If the Eagles would have won that game, would you be saying something different right now?
Yeah, probably. But I think I had so much fun watching Jalen Hurts, and I can't get over. I think the Eagles were like 6 for 6 ago. Are you?
No. Phil, it was a very boring game, but now you're like getting super excited. So I'm just a little confused.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. That's how I explained it. What did I say? Excitingly boring throughout the entire game. But like the push, the first down pushes that the Eagles did, I think they were like 6 for 6. And it actually kind of hurts my feelings though that Trent said he watched the game with you, Jordan, when I was, very clearly there as well.
You were there a half, and we'll talk about Divas later.
I did get there at half. That's true.
So
I felt bad for Jordan. He had a house full of kids. The guy had a plate full of chicken wings, and
Hey, I will say the food was worth the dealing with the kids.
So here's
Trent
the deal.
Trent did a good job. You guys all did a good job.
Trent did a good job.
So here's the deal, Seth. Jordan said ambiance was a 10. He said food was a 10, ambiance was a 2. Just a lot of kids running around
Game was a 9. Like, game was 8, 9.
Yeah.
Food was a 10. And
Seth, I don't know why you didn't come. We had Rice Krispies and pretzel twists. Yeah. Phil's wife made pretzel twists.
I know. She's
there was puppy chow and Rice Krispies at the one I was at. So
these Rice Krispies were better. We did not have puppy chow, though.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I can't believe my wife made pretzels and Rice Krispies, and I was like, I think she thought I was, draft number C or whatever. She thought that was me. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I still love.
She listened to the whole pod.
Yeah,
no,
she's like, yeah.
She actually just skipped whenever Phil was talking. To say to
me. Yeah, honestly, I think most people do. Honestly,
if you want to get our Super Bowl draft or game day draft, you missed that. It came out on Friday, kind of a short week. It was recording Tuesday night. Go check that out. But yeah, Seth, you missed out on a banger.
Yeah, it was a good one. And those pretzel bites, it wasn't pretzel twists. They were like little poppers.
Were they like soft or harder pretzels?
I think they were
soft.
Yeah, they were soft. It was like the size of donut holes.
I probably
should have got really good.
I should have got mustard out and put some of that on a plate. Yeah. But I was like, hey, I'll be honest. I was about to tap out going into halftime. I hit a brick wall. I was like, how am I going to sustain this diet for 4 quarters?
Sustain.
But I powered through. So, anyways,
a quick trip to the toilet.
Yeah.
Did you get $5,000? Did you get your?
I don't think I hit my 5K, unfortunately. But between the Hawaiian ham and cheese sliders,
those were good,
and the potato skins, wings, it was all pretty good.
They had some really good pizza, some frozen pizza that was really good.
Hey, you know what? Don't sleep on frozen pizza.
No,
I love frozen pizza, man. I love frozen pizza.
Yeah, it's good.
Leftovers, put in the microwave.
Put in the microwave. It was like I don't know. I wasn't as excited. I don't know what it was. I don't know what the vibe was, the feeling was. Am I the only one who felt that way?
No, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good game.
Maybe it was the ending that made me feel like that.
I think the game went how Jordan thought it was going to go, a shootout, right?
Yeah.
Jordan says it was going to be a shootout. I think he thought maybe Mahomes would have do more, maybe.
The fact that the Chiefs scored 38 points, and Mahomes had less than 200 yards passing it's mind-boggling to me.
It was kind of like my prop, how I said he was going to go under, but over on the TDs.
Yeah,
it made really good content. I said he was going to go under on passing yards at 282.5.
Yeah.
And I said over on passing TDs.
Yeah, he
lost the battle, won the
180, war. It was bizarre. I think that number is very weird to me, and it's for couple different reasons. I mean, obviously the defensive touchdown hurts that. They had a long kick punt return punt return to get them into field goal range.
There wasn't.
They're also like there was long drives, so not as many possessions. It felt like. I think that's why you think the game was boring,
Yeah,
Phil.
you're right.
Because there wasn't any like big plays really. There was the AJ Brown touchdown
And Devonta Smith, big catch.
But other than that, was there any other big plays?
Well, Jordan, just looking
There
at
wasn't.
Jordan.
Besides
looking at
Kadarius Tony's
Punt return, yeah.
looking at this time.
Oh,
of
and
possession,
the defensive touchdown, the fumble,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, time of possession. Eagles had the ball 35 minutes and 47 seconds, and the Chiefs had it 24 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, like solid game. Just to recap it a little bit, was that like the best national anthem ever? I don't know. Like Nick Sirianni.
I don't know
tearing
why.
up
I don't
Mr.
know why
Sabella.
he was crying.
He was
but
pretty
You don't know why he
emotional.
was crying?
why was he crying?
Just he's
I think
he's
he's
at the
like
Super
he's
Bowl.
like he's in the moment.
Yeah,
know?
he's
I
in
don't
the
think I
moment,
would
he's at
call
the-
that crying.
That was
like
bawling.
weeping.
Weeping.
Did we,
but like why?
Did his dog die and they told him like right before kickoff or something? Like it was
The
pretty bad.
only thing was his someone in the military in his family. That's the only like
Maybe so.
Maybe
No,
he's
no,
just feeling.
no,
I
but
mean, I
it's-
think maybe he's feeling thankful.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's. I think. That
Thank you,
I
Seth.
think he was having an overwhelming like.
But there's difference
joy
between,
and like
like-
thankfulness that he's like has this opportunity and like
Yeah.
he's here. You know.
They play the national anthem at every single game, but the stage that it's playing on now is just so much different. And so I think he got a little. He not a little emotional.
And
he
that's
got
his first Super
super
Bowl,
emotional.
right?
He's super.
And
yeah.
I don't think it'll be his last
as
for
a
what
head
it's worth,
coach
but yeah.
for what? Yeah, as a head coach for sure. Jordan, it sounds like you're giving him some hate. Like that might be your diva of the week,
like
people
that-
who cried during
No,
the anthem.
I just it wasn't like he teared up. Like he was crying.
Yeah, no, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It's on that level of like
That's why I'm asking like if there has to be some more backstory to that than just that.
He's worked for this his entire life. He's now there. They're getting ready to start the game. It's just like a clash of emotions, and he just probably started crying. I feel like that's like
I mean, if you saw, if you saw Kelsey, I'm blanking on his first name, but the one on the Eagles, Jason Kelsey, he was like tearing up too. He wasn't crying either, but
Yeah,
he
but
was
like
tearing
that,
up.
I guess tearing up is I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't really.
we will never find out why Sirianni was crying like that if we still don't know why Sean Moreno was crying during that national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
With like the longest teardrop of all time. Was that in
Yeah.
the Super Bowl also?
no shot Moreno. No, I
No,
don't
he
think
didn't
it was.
play in the Super Bowl. I don't.
You're talking about the Seahawks Broncos one,
Yeah,
or
I
the
know.
one 2 years after?
I don't think he was on the Broncos that long.
No,
he
I
had
don't
that
think so. I
one
think it
really
was.
weird tear when he cried. And it like
It
went
was
all
just
the way
like
down.
yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about.
that was-
So what do you think, Jordan? Are you anti people crying during the national anthem? Like, what's your beef with it a little bit? Unless someone,
I think he just thinks it's a little weird.
you just think it's.
I'm just
weird.
curious why. I just feel like it's more than like.
I don't think it has to do with an anthem, like per se. I think it has to do with like a regular
Moment's
thing-
hitting him hard.
Yeah, the moment's hitting him hard. Like they could have walked out there for the coin toss and he could have started crying. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's an emotional game.
Although I will say, on a positive,
I'm the one who
we
said
don't have
that.
to stay. We don't have.
What was that, like a year and a half
It was
ago?
a
I
year
said that?
ago when you said it's hard to win after emotional win, and Phil just let you have it for like forever.
I don't even remember
Sorry
that.
for the inside joke. How do you not remember that? You like would not quit saying it was me an emotional win after that. Like
That's hilarious. Classic. I will say it was like very America forward, which was pretty cool.
yeah, I liked it.
I love that. Like the Johnny Cash one, they had that
A ragged old
choir.
flag.
Yeah, that was a good rugged. Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. That whole. I actually think that was one of my favorite intros to the Super Bowl that I've seen in a while.
The Pat Tillman one was great too.
It was awesome.
What about the commercials? Nothing like stuck on a wall that like all time great.
I didn't see any ones that it made me intrigued at all.
I-
not funny. Not a
I'll
single.
be
I did not
honest.
laugh at any of them.
I'll be honest. I don't really care for I don't care about the commercials.
I don't
so
really.
try-
Yeah, I don't really care,
pay
but I
attention that
want
much.
some entertainment. Like I don't mind some laughter.
That's what talking to your friends are for, Trent.
Should have seen the guys I was with at this party.
Real idiots.
No, there was not a good fight.
To be honest, I also couldn't hear the commercials with all the kids around. So.
Yes, that's true.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like we were in a wind tunnel. If I can be completely honest with you, I almost put my earbuds on, but I knew someone would yell at me.
Yeah, Phil, we had that prop for
Your wife.
commercial.
Yeah, I was going to get in trouble for putting my
You know
earbuds on.
that awkward moment when the people are yelling, getting an argument, and you're there? That was going to happen.
That was if I threw my earbuds on.
Yeah. like we had the over under on dogs and commercials at 6.5. I think I saw 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like
That was a massive under.
Massive.
yeah,
Bad
I'm trying
line
to
by
think.
Vegas.
There were no really that great of commercials, huh? Even there was a couple beer ones that were not that great. And usually those
The
are
one
ones
that
are
I
heavy
saw
hitters.
that like actually had me watching the whole thing was like the Blue Moon one. Like they were fighting over what kind of commercial it was, like which beer commercial it was, and then at the very end, it's like, no, you thought, haha, this is a Blue Moon commercial. Like that was the only one.
I've heard
and
of
it was like it made me smirk. 'cause
I've
it
heard
was
of a
dumb.
neon moon.
Yeah,
Sure,
this is
Trent.
this is a blue moon. It's a blue moon actually tastes very similar to Emergency, which is what I'm sipping on right now. That's what I would consider
Blue Moon or Emergency in there, Phil. We don't know.
Which one?
Explain
This
a lot.
is Emergency.
Sure.
Fast. I had a feeling that was to be like the fastest first quarter in a long time. That whole first half flew by. I felt like with how the
did,
Eagles
yeah.
were just running the ball. Like Eagles were. Where's third down conversions here? They were 11 for 18 on third downs and 2 for 2 on
Yeah, well,
fourth
because
downs.
half of them were the 1 yard sneaks that are
The nose
unstoppable.
dives. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Or-
could have just sneaked the ball the whole game and won.
They could probably get 3 yards of carry on every sneak.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what they were getting.
Yeah.
Pretty close to that. That was and then they had the couple quarterback like draw.
Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts was on a mission, Phil.
He looked so good, right?
Those
Outside
draws.
of the fumble, I mean, obviously, if he doesn't fumble that and they don't take the touchdown, the Eagles win that game. I think everyone can kind of agree there. But it's like, yeah, that's the only thing that like really stained his game. Outside of that, he looked really good, which is why Jordan said I don't think his performance or like really affects him at all because obviously he looked really good.
And he was throwing a lot of jump balls to like AJ Brown. AJ Brown had that like 50 plus TD reception. Like he was using them. Dallas Goedert though, like Phil said, was not dropping passes.
No.
Was just locked in. You could say Goddard maybe outplayed Kelsey in this game.
I don't know about that.
You could look at the stat.
I mean, Goddard also plays with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
That's
Kelsey
true.
plays with
That's true.
Juju Smith-Schuster and MVS, who sucks.
That's true, but you know what else?
And he
MVS
hold
even
on.
touched the ball.
Do you want to
MVS
know why
didn't
he's
touch the
saying
ball.
MVS sucks? Just for what it's worth.
Why?
He didn't have a catch.
Why?
Did he even have a target?
Yeah, he had the one that he just
Did you have him in your
didn't locate.
lineup or did you have him as a prop?
I had him on Prize Picks.
Oof.
He kept showing.
I bet
He
you
was
he
kicking
wishes-
himself all night.
He wishes he had Kadarius Toney now or Sky Moore.
No, I mean, those guys wouldn't hit any of their props either.
I was sitting next to him, Seth, and he just goes, "Look at this. Look at this guy hasn't touched the ball all night."
And then right after that, they threw a deep ball that he just was like, oh, where's the ball at? I can't find it.
You did have him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Should have been on Juju. Juju was the right.
Yeah, well,
but
you and I both. I mean, I won big for Prize Picks. You know,
Nice.
went
nice.
5 for 6,
He doubled his money.
double my
That's all
my
that matters
cash.
is Phil double.
We won't tell you how much he doubled them, how much it was that he doubled.
How are your
but
plays? How are your plays?
I made 4 plays, 3 power plays, and 1 6-man. My 6-man ended up turning into a 5-man flex, and that was like a $20 bet. So I got 200. And then all my 2 of my 3 like 3-man or 2-man powers hit. So
nice.
like, yeah, pretty good day.
I had Pacheco and Miles Sanders over 105 rushing yards combined, and that didn't hit. I had
The Miles Sanders one hurt.
I had
yeah.
Travis and then so that hurt me in one. Then the other one I had Travis Kelsey over 7 receptions. He didn't hit. I did take Patrick Mahomes under 282 and a half. That hit. So yeah, I was really close. I didn't do it. I need to just shrink my powers a little bit, not do too much. But while we're talking about Prize Picks, today's recap is brought to you by Prize Picks, the dude's favorite place to play DFS. You pick 2 to 3 props and choose the over-under on their fantasy projection. And yeah, it's that easy. You can win up to 35 times your entry. Just use promo code DUDES for 100%. And they will match you up to $100, not 100%. So match you up to $100. If you enjoy the show, you enjoy the dudes, just go to Prize Picks and enter the promo code DUDES. Really helps us out. But yeah, Goddard played pretty good. Devonta Smith played pretty good. We had an overturned touchdown. Do you want to get to the meat and potatoes of this, Jordan? Like, I don't know. I feel like I've been in a group text with Jordan, and I haven't even caught up, but they're going after him.
Going after who? Me?
You.
The refs?
Yeah, you.
All the above?
Yeah.
Mahomes?
Jordan's like, yeah, he's pro ref now, I guess.
He's defending Goodell at this point.
No, never.
He's backing Goodell, saying this is the best officiating ever. Jordan's like, no, that tweet's accurate.
He's like, they're nowhere near perfect, but they are really good.
The two things that Jordan feels strongly about: Prop 27 and Roger Goodell. Getting it right this year.
Only one of those is true. It's not Roger Goodell.
He has his Prop 27 sign up right now for the next election.
Why didn't we have that on the poster behind
We
him?
should.
That
That's
should
the
be
thing
on
that I
Jordan's
didn't-
poster all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, check us out on
Prop
YouTube
27
at TFF
sucks.
Dudes. See our new backdrops are real nice. Seth is making us look as good as he can make us look.
Adequate.
Yeah, adequate.
Makes Phil look taller.
Camera does add 5 pounds though, so I will say that about myself.
$5
Only
grand.
to only to the camera in the center.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at myself. I'm like, there's no way.
It looks like you had the $5 grand today.
had to power through.
So you don't have a statement, general statement you want to read?
No,
off or
I mean,
anything?
I kind of want to just like kind of my diva is people who like if you just want to.
Yeah, let's get into divas.
Yeah,
and
let's
then
get into divas.
go-
Like, mine's related to this. Like I just think the people who are complaining about the refs are divas right now. Like
Okay.
I'm seeing it everywhere. And here's my thing: is that we all know refs suck at every single level, whether it's high school, college, the pros. But like the reality is that like refs make bad calls, just like receivers drop passes, quarterback miss throws. Like corners get blown by. Like my kickers miss field goals. Like it's gonna happen. You almost know going in the game they're gonna make. Yeah, I think it was a decent. Like I think you can't argue with the call that they made. I think you could also have been like it's a little ticky tacky, but also like the Chiefs still kicked the field goal there.
Yeah, the problem with that take though, Jordan, is them kicking the field goal is you're looking at like a minute 30 and 6 seconds. That's the biggest problem, and 2 timeouts still, right? You still have some timeouts.
Yeah, no, I get that. But like at the end of the day,
And it's
the
4th and
Eagles
8.
corner said I held him, and I was hoping they wouldn't call it.
No,
Those were his exact words.
I think he's emotional right now. Like he's not thinking correctly.
this is-
like
see,
I
this is-
don't think he. Yes, I know he
He's
did say
saying
that.
He's saying that so he can sleep at night.
Why? It doesn't make any sense.
He definitely held him. That is not enough.
Because in his head, he's going to think, oh, me holding the guy blew that whole game.
But I don't. Jordan, did you? So you agree it wasn't a hold, or it wasn't as bad to get a
I think it
flag?
was a hold. I understand why. But my thing is that people are like, oh, this tarnishes the legacy of Patrick Mahomes. And it's like,
No,
like,
I don't think it-
people
I don't
are
think
like,
it- I don't
the
think it-
Chiefs don't deserve to win. The NFL's rigged. Like people say the NFL's rigged. You are a diva, and it is that is such a bad take. Like, if you think the NFL is rigged, 1, I don't care if you ever watch football again.
Yeah.
2, you're delusional. Like the NFL's
Yeah.
not rigged.
I don't think anyone really believes that. I think they.
No, I think people do.
They're just trying to get. They're just people. You think people actually believe the NFL is rigged?
There are people in the group text that I'm in that 100% believe it.
The problem is, it doesn't tarnish his legacy, but it's like the last 2 Super Bowls that have been in Arizona. Is it Glendale? What's the team?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it is Glendale. It's not Phoenix.
might be Scottsdale.
Oh,
Anyways, that's besides the
Gilbert.
point. The last 2 Super Bowls that have been in Arizona, you had Santonio Holmes making the crazy catch in the
Yeah.
corner of the end zone. The one before you had, or no, maybe this was that. Then you had David Tyree catching the ball off his helmet.
Yeah.
This one, the play was a PI penalty that no one really thinks they should have.
But okay, but here's this. How about Jalen Hurts doesn't just drop the ball on the ground and let the Chiefs pick
That's
it up
true
for a
too, yeah.
touchdown and the Eagles win? Was it the ref's fault that Jalen Hurts decided to just drop the ball on the floor?
You can't call that penalty right there, though. It's not a. It wasn't enough.
I
Okay,
actually think that's
I
worse
think-
than the hit on Mahomes.
But
Oh, it's
Trent,
definitely worse.
but
it's
Trent,
worse, right?
How about this? I sat next to you and you're like, man, they really missed that hold right there. What they were calling that all year or in the second quarter when the
I
Chiefs,
agree. And
Chiefs
how
had
they-
to
yeah.
punt. So if they call that hold there, do the Chiefs maybe score a touchdown on that
My
drive?
argument is
so the
was
Chiefs
how-
got screwed there then.
Yeah, Jordan. My argument is though how they officiate games in the Super Bowl is how they should officiate the whole NFL season. They call everything all ticky tacky, and then playoffs come. And it's like, oh, we can let people punch people in the mouth again. Oh, we don't care about player safety anymore. It's like, other than that, people don't care.
But
like,
was
it's
there
all-
really any flags thrown throughout the game?
There were 6 on the Eagles. There were 3 on the Chiefs. 3 for 14 and 6 for 33. So there was nothing like huge. There was a weak, helmet to the or hand to the face,
Which
I
makes
thought.
this worse.
Yeah, they didn't throw anything the whole game, but then at the very end, they're like, "Oh, let's call a ticky-tacky call."
That's what I'm saying.
Here's
that
my
makes it
also
worse.
thing.
99% of the game was called really good.
I think if
thought.
Juju doesn't get held there, he scores a touchdown.
I think the
No,
ball's not even close.
no. The
ball-
are you
it
It
serious?
might have
I think
been,
he scores a touchdown.
it might have
The
been
ball
closer.
landed
It might have
10
been
yards
closer
away
to
from-
Kelsey.
The ball landed 10 yards away from
The guy may not even have been able to drag his feet in the end zone. Like
And
it was
the-
at the very corner.
I think it's a touchdown.
Yeah, he would have dragged his feet.
I
It was
think
close
Patrick
enough,
Mahomes
but-
threw that ball because he saw a holding.
No,
thought
I
saw
think he
holding.
just threw the ball.
Yeah, and no,
I
Jordan.
think he was
There's
about to
no
get
way.
sacked and just threw it.
I
No,
disagree.
there's
I
no
disagree.
way that Schuster's catching that
I think it's
pass.
touchdown.
Smith-Schuster's not good enough, first of all.
Yeah, you already said he sucked.
He could drop the ball.
Smith-Schuster sucks.
No,
That's
how about
exactly
this?
true.
He did say that earlier.
He could drop the ball. That's within the realm of possibility. He just drops the ball. But I think that
He's not getting to it.
I don't think he's getting to it. But anyways, that's
It's-
beside the fact. It doesn't matter because he
Well, it
didn't
does
have to
matter
get to the ball. He didn't have to get to it.
Well, it
obviously.
does matter though, because if you guys are on the belief that hold doesn't affect whether he catches the ball or not, then yes, they shouldn't call a penalty. But if you think he gets that ball and
Well,
it's a touchdown,
holding
then it
doesn't
should.
matter if he can catch it or not. The PI
No,
does.
but that,
Holding
but
doesn't.
I don't
but
think
that's not my point. My point is people are saying in that situation you can't call that flag. And my point is if you think that Juju catches that ball, if there's no contact, then you have to call the flag.
So can you watch the replay just real quick?
I have watched the replay. I
Okay,
think he
all right.
scores.
Yeah, I see. I don't think he catches it. I don't think he
think
was
he-
held enough to impact.
No,
the play.
he was like at least 7 to 10 yards away from the ball being held. I don't think that makes.
We're not
up-
talking about you, Phil. We're talking about NFL athletes. Golly.
I mean, he
I could've made that grab.
He didn't really try to go after the ball either.
I could have made that grab, and Seth could have made that field goal right after it was that close. I'm trying to find some.
But ultimately, like my diva is just people who are just not going to give the Chiefs any credit and are just going to blame the refs lost the refs. Just complain about the refs the whole entire time.
I think. I think first of all, the Eagles' defense not nearly as good as they've ever done. First of all, they're playing the Chiefs' offense is obviously, I mean, arguably the best, or right next to the Eagles' best, right? But I think one thing that I'm hearing is, I'm not saying this is what is true or not, but I think people are, first of all, they're tired of seeing the Chiefs win. They're tired of the Chiefs being good, right? And those are both things that happen. The Chiefs win and the Chiefs are good. Patrick Mahomes is good. And I think people feel, first of all, they don't want the Chiefs to win in the first place. That's why they're saying it's rigged, whether they believe it or not. Or they're mad about a official throwing a flag, that gives the Chiefs, doesn't really give them the game regardless if you think if it's a flag or not. It just helps them more at the time it mattered the most, right? And they also feel like that it was like that last week with or the week before with the Bengals. And I feel like people are tired of seeing the Chiefs get their way in parentheses. I think that's just why people are feeling like that.
I mean, people all said the Chiefs were going to suck this year.
Yeah, but that was
And
that was a dumb take to begin with. Anyone smart knew the Chiefs.
The
were gonna
same
be good
people, though, were
regardless.
saying that, though. The same people were like, oh, they no Tyreek Hill. Mahomes is going to suck. And it's like, these are also the same people who hate the Chiefs because of Jackson's Mahomes. Like, I just don't understand it.
I just don't like the Chiefs because I don't want to see them win anymore.
Kind of like
Yeah.
the Bama vibe a little bit.
Yeah, I want to see someone else. That's why I wanted the Eagles to win. I mean, partially because I like Jalen Hurts, but I just don't want to see Mahomes win anymore because it's like he's good, and it's
Also,
like,
you know,
can't deny how good
You know what my
Mahomes
other
is.
diva
no,
should
yeah,
be?
he's
Yeah.
great.
You know what my other diva should be? Cowboy fans who rooted for the Eagles today.
That's
That should have been my real diva. Cowboy fans who rooted for the Eagles. Come on, that's even worse.
I've rooted against the Steelers in Super Bowls because I didn't want them to have more Super Bowls than the Cowboys. But it's like, hey, I'll throw the Eagles a bone. They got one.
You
What's
cannot,
two?
Trent. That's like you rooting for the Giants in the World Series. You just can't do it.
I hate the Giants more than the Eagles for some reason.
No, that's fair. That's it's way different.
Like, what about
I know the hate is
Like, what
no.
about when the Patriots were
Maybe just 'cause
undefeated?
I'm-
Should I have just been like, yeah, I want the Patriots to go undefeated?
And because who they
They played the Giants.
yes, you should have been yes.
See, I don't want I
also think the Eagles-
I did go for the Patriots in that one, but like I know a lot of guys are like, I don't want to see an undefeated team too.
I mean, we got Cowboy fans saying, "Oh, I hate Patrick Mahomes, so I'm going to cheer for the Eagles." I'm like, are you serious?
The Eagles
right
are
now?
a lot more likable than the Chiefs. Most people that like the Chiefs are under the age of 14, I would probably say.
Yeah, and you.
I think
pretty
that's,
close.
I think that's an
close.
accurate take.
I don't think that's an
I
accurate
know.
take,
I know
but
you.
okay.
Maybe we'll raise the bar to 18. We'll raise the bar a little bit.
That's such a fair. That's actually that might be your best take on the pod.
I don't. well,
14.
They're young people who like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. No, that's what I think.
Yeah.
And he does cool stuff. But you have all the kids that play Madden. He makes every throw on the game and all that stuff. Like most kids,
Like, that is kind of like a-
Mahomes fans are probably under the age of 14. And
you're talking about outside of normal Chiefs fans.
Yes,
outside
yes,
normal
yeah.
Chiefs fans. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fine. Like,
But that was kind of like when I was in high school. Like there was a lot of kids younger than me that like loved the Patriots. You know, when I was in
that's
third
fair.
grade, no one liked the Patriots. But it's just like there's those teams that win. Now I'm the old guy. You know, I went to the zoo this on Saturday, and my wife said, "Hey, when was the last time you came to the zoo?" And I said, "Oh, 10 years." And I thought about it, and I said, "I haven't been to the zoo in over 20 years." That made me feel old. I've never in my life said I haven't done this in 20 years. You know, like all of a sudden it hit me like. Yeah,
You're old.
I'm old. Yeah, so like,
you have
now
you have
I'm
a
like
dirt.
now I'm like the boomer that's like I got to go against these 14-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like, and then,
You lost me there. Like, Jordan's agreeing with you though a little bit.
No, I mean, I went to the zoo probably like a year and a half ago, so I don't know what you're talking about. But
well, no,
Why
but that
did
was
you
my
go to
first-
the zoo?
Don't
I like
answer
the
that. You
zoo.
don't have to
I
answer
like
that,
the zoo.
Jordan.
You like the zoo?
yeah, I think the zoo's fun.
Did you just go by yourself?
No, it was in like in a different city or something like that. We're trying
That makes more sense.
killing
I mean,
time,
that
you
makes
know,
more
kill
sense.
time type of thing.
Different
Like,
city
I
makes
used to live
sense.
right by the zoo. The
I'll,
LA
I'll
zoo.
be fair. The local zoo that you went to, I can't remember the last time I was at the local zoo.
It's a lot better now if you want to go. Just like you have a Saturday free or something. I know basketball season.
Wait till the monkey exhibit
You
is
still don't
done,
want
though.
to.
Monkey exhibit is not done, and then the turtles are in hibernation because it's too cold. So you might want to wait a couple months.
The otters are always.
Thanks for the information, Trent.
They also have a dinosaur.
Sadly
thing.
enough, I've been twice in the last 10 days.
Oh, wow.
Got that season pass. Had to go for my daughter's birthday, then had to go for my niece's birthday. But it was fun. You know, it's a welcome to dadhood. But yeah, that was a really weird rabbit trail, kind of like those rabbit trail commercials.
Well, do we have any
today
more
for
divas?
Tubi.
Because I have them, but I'll go last.
But yeah, I felt like that was appropriate though, Jordan. Like it was relevant.
I just gave two. I wanted to give two today. I haven't gave some in a couple weeks.
No, that's
so,
good.
So my divas are people who blame the refs and think that the only reason the Chiefs won because of the refs, and then two Cowboy fans who cheer for the Eagles.
Let me
today.
defend the Cowboy fans a little bit here, Jordan. It's kind of like, you know how college football, like guys kind of cheer for their conference. Like, hey, let's make our conference look good. Like,
just stop.
like, hey,
Stop
Mountain West,
right
let's
now.
go. Hey, I'm repping the Big 12. Like, come on, Big 12. Like, show us.
I see you. I
so
see
it's
you
like,
there.
hey, this is our conference, NFC East. Like, you know, show us some respect. Cowboys beat the Eagles. You know, we split the series with them. Like, you know, I'm cheering for. It's kind of like when your league opponent makes it to Valley or whatever. You know, like that's just another way to look at it, Jordan.
No,
You know, just
no. If the 49ers beat the Eagles, I want the Chiefs to beat the 49ers so bad. That's what I would want to happen.
all right. So if it was Chiefs Niners, you'd choose Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah, and I hate the Chiefs.
See, I grew up hating the Redskins, who are now the Commanders. Then it probably went Giants. Then I don't know. I did get like I had a homeless guy in Philadelphia just let me have it for wearing a Cowboys jersey in third grade. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But
I wish so badly he would have beat you up.
Trent, Philadelphia fans are the worst.
Oh, they are
They're
bad.
the
They
meanest
are bad.
people in
They
the
are bad.
world.
Yeah.
They were
but do you
flipping
know
cars
but
before the
yeah.
game even started.
Do you know
man.
Jackson Mahomes though? Like he's a special breed. You know, like
I don't like
that's
Jackson
a strange
Mahomes.
cat.
You
Yeah.
know, you are able to separate Patrick Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes for what it's worth.
They share the same blood.
They
though.
are two different
You could
people.
separate Eagles and Eagles fans.
But
though?
Andy Reid is hard not to.
I do like
You know what
Andy
I'm saying?
Reid.
Like
Andy Reid?
Andy
Yeah.
Reid kind of like is the Band-Aid over that.
And how do you not like Travis Kelce?
He's kind of annoying.
I like Jason Kelsey more. That
I like
guy was
Jason
Jason
Kelce
Kelce
more.
was straight up trucking people.
Oh,
today.
he might have
hit
had
sticking
his best
people.
game of the. I mean, he's in the Super Bowl.
Well, the Eagles'
He might have
offense
had his
looked
best
really
game of
good.
his
I mean,
career.
yeah,
He
maybe.
was just lighting people up.
How weird was that seeing Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey's mom sitting next to Roger Goodell?
And DeMar
Right,
Hamlin.
and DeMar Hamlin.
Hamlin.
Roger Goodell.
What prop was that? Like that could, if that would have been one of our props, like would this crew be together? I'd be like,
And-
okay, NFL stage.
And
You know, like
question,
it's official.
was LeBron James like 2 rows above him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he was.
LeBron,
Hey,
you know, you're a Lakers fan, Jordan. LeBron said it was a bad call.
Yeah, but LeBron's
He
on
did
the
say
bad
that.
side of a lot of takes, though. So maybe if you're on
Yeah,
the LeBron
yeah.
side of a take, sometimes you might be
Fair.
wrong.
Fair
Yeah.
point.
So-
there's a
Producer Seth.
good chance like that you probably are wrong.
Should
right?
we call Seth PS? Producer Seth?
Yes.
Yeah, it's solved.
So okay, all right, Phil. What's your diva of the week here?
No, man, I was talking to you about one, and then I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of have beef, even though I did that for what it's worth today. Beef with people who party hop.
Just at Super Bowl or at anything like Christmas too?
No, I think just Super Bowl, right? Like you got to pick a party.
Do people party hop Christmas?
I think so. Like
kind of smart.
If you have family living all in the same place, like they can party hop a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't have I only have one set of family.
But I know. But I think in Christmas, like your family's probably like, hey, opening presents here at 10, opening presents here at 3. It's not like, hey, I'm coming for 5 minutes, then going.
Yeah, no, but the Super Bowl hoppers, I think that's you have to. Number one, if you're not bringing something to every single Super Bowl party you're going to, like I think that's like a total diva move. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to a party, you have to contribute it in some way. Bring like a side dish, bring a dessert, bring something. But if you're just going to all these other parties and basically freeloading, major problem with you.
That's true. And I was like,
freeloaders, I guess, is what I'm getting down to.
Yeah, my buddy Steve sent me a text. They said, "Look, I'm making some street corn."
Yeah,
he's like, "What do you have? What's your Super Bowl spread?" Send him a picture of my spread. He said, "Is Phil?" He said, "Phil strikes me as the type of guy who goes to your Super Bowl party and doesn't bring any food." And I said, "He's coming at the second half, so I assume he's coming at the second half because he doesn't want to bring food." So just to set the rumors straight, Phil came second half. He brought pretzels and he brought Rice Krispies. So Phil, you didn't live up to what I thought you were. You're better.
Yeah,
so
and I should really give my wife, the round of applause. She brought
That's
everything.
True. That's
she
true,
she made everything.
I seriously doubt you made the Rice Krispies or pretzels.
The Rice Krispies were really good.
They were really good. There was a little bit of Golden Grahams mixed in there.
Yeah,
Seth.
that's the first time I've
no
had
sprinkles,
that.
No sprinkles, which you lost me on the sprinkles on the Rice Krispie treats.
But the Golden Grahams,
Still good.
the Golden Grahams in the Rice Krispies added a new layer of deliciousness.
Yeah,
I'd
it was
say.
like a little sweet, crunchy surprise.
Yeah, almost like an added buttery layer.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a funny texture of Golden Grahams, but I really like it. It kind of like sends my taste buds on a journey they're not used to.
Well, the Golden Grahams have like a little bit of like rimmed or like riveted edges. You know what I'm saying? So it picks up some of that like marshmallow fluff in there a little bit more. It's kind of just adds some additional
kind of coats, kind of holds it together, kind of like the mortar
holds
in
it
the
down.
straw.
Yes, exactly. I will say though that it's interesting because my brother Steve, maybe it was the same Steve you were talking to, also made street corn.
Wow, different Steve.
Different Steve. Interesting. Maybe
Yeah.
the Steves just all decided that this
the
Super Bowl
Steves
they're gonna
unite.
make street corn.
Yeah. Your brother Steve asked for remote or robotic refs though after that call, so he's pretty upset. Also, maybe that's
He
who
was
Jordan
not
was talking
happy.
about.
He was not happy. Yeah.
Yeah. My diva of the week. You guys might make fun of me for this, but I'm getting old. You
Okay.
know. And Seth, you have a couple divas.
That's your
too.
diva, old people?
No, but it's just cramps. Like I feel like I'm cramping up all the time. Like
Your
I need
diva
to
of the
drink
week is
cramps. Yeah, cramps.
Sounds like you didn't drink enough water today.
Yeah.
Trent.
Maybe because
all the salt you ate. Yeah, that's probably.
Not today. If it was on the pod, and I cramped once in both of my calves when I was in high school, and I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to meet my
Double
maker.
hookups.
Yeah, I said we were at a fishing camp, and I just screamed double hookup at 3 a.m. Both my calves. I couldn't rub my calves out fast enough. I thought, oh my
There's
god.
nothing I would love more than you to cramp in both your legs right now.
It was bad. It was.
We'd love to see you roll around,
He
Trent.
thought it was bad. Try being woken up at 3 a.m., sleeping right next to him,
Screaming
yelling.
at a camp, double hookup.
And it's one of those things where you're like, it's almost like he was giving birth. He was like grabbing my shoulder and like supporting
I
himself.
would put
to
that
some
up
extent.
against giving birth. I think a surprise cramp, a surprise cramp in both calves.
And he just
At 3
kept
a.m.,
yelling double hookups.
I'm 17 years old and I'm trying not to cry. I felt like how Nick.
What is double hookup?
Trent,
Both
this is
of my
like- Trent,
calves
I was,
cramped up.
never
I was
heard
sleeping in
why.
a general vicinity of you, wasn't I?
Yes.
But why did you say hookup? I don't get it.
It was fishing. We had poles in the water and be like, hey, double hookup. Both poles are hooked up. And I don't know.
Like
I woke up and yelled, double hookup.
both guys got a fish on the hook, so we'll say double hookup. And then this guy says it
Yeah.
about his calves.
My calves double hookup.
So wait, why is that your diva? I still don't understand how
Just
that's...
cramps. They're terrible. Do
Yeah.
you like getting cramps?
Human design is Trent's problem.
Yeah. Aging
Like,
male.
who's
We
the
need-
diva? Do you getting a cramp? Like I don't understand who's the diva here?
Mother
Cramps.
Nature.
Cramps. Anatomy.
Anatomy, yeah.
And then
So,
to me.
so
But
basically,
like, you know how you can avoid cramps, right? You drink a lot of water.
I try to. I
Stop drinking all that
I
beer.
drink liquid IV. I drink the new Prime stuff. Like I'm trying all this other stuff.
That's not. You haven't said water. You said
Yeah.
I say water. No, water too. But no, let me tell you this story, okay?
Okay.
I go
Not
to-
the double
You need to
hookups.
eat more.
After the park,
Less.
after the park,
Healthier.
Is that when I was at the park?
at the park, Seth comes. His daughter comes too, and wife. I'm pushing my daughter in the swing. Guess what happens? You know, I'm only pushing my daughter in the swing. Let's just put Seth's daughter in the swing too. Trent will push her too, no problem. No big deal. So I'm pushing both swings like this.
Okay.
You know, one kid in one hand. I honestly felt like Superman. I'm like, hey, honestly, like I'm pushing two kids at once. Like this whole dad thing's not that hard. Like
Yeah.
my other daughter, I'll be out here every day. Because I'm thinking I'm going to be doing this every day in a year, you know, both kids.
Working on your traps
Yeah.
too.
All of a sudden, I'm like, my left shoulder is killing me after I'm pushing. You know, because normally,
that's just a workout.
normally it's just the one like this. You're just pushing
Yeah.
one kid.
Like
well,
you're
my
pushing,
left arm
like,
just
yeah.
was all by itself, and I'm like, oh man, didn't think anything of it. Saturday morning, 3 a.m. Just single hookup, left shoulder.
Don't say that.
Couldn't-
Please don't
couldn't
say
even-
3 a.m. Like how you led with 3 a.m.
3
Single
a.m. yeah.
hookup. Please don't say those
I
words
did not
anymore
go.
together.
I did not go back to sleep until
Really?
9 o'clock Saturday night. Like my shoulder still hurts. Like I can't get this out. Like maybe I honestly was tempted to have Phil like stand on my back at the Super Bowl party and just like try to pop it. Like something's out of place. But yeah, cramped up in my left shoulder. So yeah, maybe getting old is my deal.
Cramp up in your left shoulder.
No, he's just
Shoulder
probably,
blade.
he
Shoulder
probably
blade
pinched
back here?
something.
But yeah, because it's just like I was doing. But normally I push swings every day for about 30 minutes. Shouldn't be a problem. I
Yeah.
switched to the double. You know, kid in each
You
hand.
usually push with your right hand.
No, usually push with my
And
right
now
hand.
you've been pushing with your left, and your left shoulder has probably been doing nothing for the last
Yeah.
No,
years.
it's
so
more of an assister.
And no
okay?
one's shocked by that, just for
but
what it's
it's pushing a kid on
it's
the
been
swing.
stagnant for years.
No,
Yeah.
pushing a kid on the swing is like shooting a basketball. Your left hand guides it, your right hand shoots. So you know, it's
Okay,
just
that's
kind of like
fair.
it's kind of like that. Just keep them in.
I think
it's
you're-
all about keeping your kid in their.
You
in their
should
lane.
actually be upset about upset at yourself for not getting a little bit more physical activity throughout the day. Like that's like probably like you wouldn't be getting.
No, it was just a muscle.
stretch
I have
before?
not. I have not used one hand for my left hand before.
Can you
So
just
like-
imagine him stretching before he pushes his kids on the swing?
I feel like Michael Jordan when he said he could beat LeBron in a game of one-on-one if his body wouldn't betray him. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
My body betrayed me.
So you
Probably
couldn't go to
not the
sleep
last
from 3 a.m.
I couldn't go to sleep. I was like my shoulder.
So
was
what'd you
killing me.
do?
I got a roller. I was rolling up and back and forth on my floor. I was icing it. I was doing
got into a bath?
I got on the couch and I laid with like my head facing over and just like letting my body weight just hang and like just trying to pop every bone in my vertebrae.
Why did you do?
for 5 hours.
I couldn't sleep. I was in too much pain.
Did you like watch TV? Did you like?
Yeah, I watched some TV, like played a little Zelda, but yeah, I was like wanting to go to sleep. I could not go to sleep. It was terrible.
That's awesome.
And you did, and it was just the pain.
Just the pain. I probably should took like some Tylenol or something.
Yeah, probably some
22,
ibuprofen.
yeah.
But that's too smart for you.
Yeah. No, but by the time I got to the point that I could, that's like, okay, I feel good. It was like
It was
I
already
had
8 a.m.
exerted too much energy to,
So how?
it's like I
many-
needed to shower by
So
that
you
point.
woke.
Oh my god.
So 3 a.m. you wake up,
Single hookup.
single hookup.
Left shoulder blade, not shoulder, because shoulder I can work out my shoulder with my right hand here. Shoulder blade couldn't.
So
Luckily,
give
my
us
wife,
through your
my
resume.
wife,
Can't
my,
reach.
my wife got up around the time it happened because our daughter got up to feed the baby, and I just asked her to, I was like, "Hey, can you just put the ice pack back in the kitchen?" And then after that, I was like, "I should have just done it because I could." Yeah, it's a long story.
So you just were just laying on the couch hoping.
Yeah, praying for a miracle.
And the thing is that you went and picked up the sticks and were playing Zelda.
Yeah.
And you knew not for 1 minute think like, oh, just doing this all day is what got me
Well,
here.
no, I did that. I did that after I couldn't go to sleep. It wasn't like, okay, let's play Zelda, then try to go to sleep. It's like, hey, I've been trying to go to sleep for 2 hours. Like, hey, let's try. Like, it's not happening, And then I finally went back to sleep at 6 when my daughter woke up, but she wanted to watch Cars, and she just every 5 minutes said, wake up, and would just slap me around, and I'd wake up. So yeah.
You couldn't go to bed. I pray
Don't
that
judge me, Phil, till you walk a mile in my shoes.
Number
How about
one, I
that?
pray that happens to you again tonight.
It
And number
happens to me
two, I
at
pray it
home.
never happens.
I would
to
never
me.
wish a cramp in the middle of someone's sleep on my worst enemy. It used to happen a lot more in high school.
I've never had
never have I either.
Actually, I have
Oh.
a pretty legendary cramp story, but yeah,
I once was trying to get a fumble versus Kerman in high school football, and I was sitting I cramped up while I was holding on to the ball. Like I didn't know what to do. Like it was one of the scariest things in my life. Pretty sure I'd have came up with that ball if I didn't get cramped. You know.
So you coughed up the ball?
It was one of those where the other guy had it and I was like close, kind of fighting for it. Then all of a sudden my calf cramps up. It's like, okay, now what do? You know, like
Just let go.
It's like it obviously was the Lord's will that I didn't come up with that ball in a pile. You know what I mean? Like divine intervention.
You sniped your calf.
Anyways, we are way off topic here, guys. Seth, and actually, you know, just talking about cramps and everything, the modern man who takes care of himself, manscaping isn't just for life special occasions. It's a requirement for optimal health, superior hygiene, and healthy self-esteem. You need to have the right tools for a safe and precise grooming in the hard-to-navigate sensitive areas, plus post-trimming products to keep your dudes dry and fresh all day long. Go to manscaped.com, enter dudes20 for 20% off your order. Their new boxers are amazing. Absolutely love them.
You go looking for them in your boxer
it's
drawer.
like
you know what I'm saying?
I need more pairs. Like I need to
you
buy
need
more.
Yeah, they're perfect for just lounging, walking around, or working out. Like if you need a nice pair to like go on a run or something like that, perfect pair.
Yeah, so go get those 3 pairs, 20% off. It makes it pretty reasonable doing that. And then, they got the Lawnmower 4.0. It's got a flashlight to, get those hard to see, hard to reach areas. And then the Weed Whacker, get those stray rogue nose hairs, keeping you look.
Or ear hairs for the people who struggle with that.
Maybe you got a unibrow. You know what I mean?
Yes, some
Weed
people,
Whacker
we're just
might
talking
work.
about like, hey, some people struggle with cramps all their lives. Some people struggle with ear hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing will help you out.
I just can't believe Trent pronounced it unibrow.
Yeah. Unibrow.
Well, dudes 20 for 20% off, and it helps us out. Also, if you're enjoying this pod, you like hearing more health tips about how to prevent cramps, go ahead and scroll to the bottom if you're listening on Apple and give us a 5-star rating and review. Make sure you're following. But yeah, give us a 5-star rating review. Just say something like "my dudes" or "what up, my dudes." Appreciate you. We really appreciate that, guys. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a little rating system right there on the top. Give us a 5-star rating there. We really appreciate that. And then check in on the YouTube channel at TFF Dudes, and the same as Twitter and Instagram to stay up to date with your favorite dudes. But Seth, what's your diva of the week you got here, man?
All right, so it's kind of like a 3-in-1 thing. All 3 happened within a span of 20 minutes. So I get out of church and I'm getting in the car, and my wife goes, "Hey, I need to get something last minute from the store." And I'm like, shoot, this is before the Super Bowl. Everyone goes last minute. So there's one diva right there. My wife saying, "I need to get something from the store." Literally 2 hours before the Super Bowl starts.
Hey, and here's the deal, just to cut you off for a second, Seth. I went to the store today around 9 o'clock. It was like, it wasn't that bad, but it was like, hey, this is going to be hand-to-hand combat in about an hour.
It was prepping to be bad.
It was
Yeah, at
prepping.
12 o'clock it was bad.
You could feel,
What store do you go to?
Save Mart.
you could feel the fire and
so-
the energy was about to get there.
I was
Clerks were ready, they were ready.
I was at a different-
Self-checkout was functioning.
I was
Yeah.
at a different store around noon, and it wasn't that bad.
Can you imagine just a clerk having the Nick Sirianni moment before the Super Bowl? Like, they knew it was Super Bowl day. They knew it was this, Save Mart was going to be busy. They play the national anthem before work starts. Just waterworks.
Keep going,
getting-
Seth.
Okay.
Getting ready at the checkout line.
So
you know
anyways,
what I'm
there's my
saying?
one diva, my wife, for not getting the thing yesterday when we had time. And me,
And what was she doing? You know what I mean?
she was
Like, why
getting
couldn't
stuff
she have done
to
that
make
on
stuff
Saturday?
for a platter for the Super Bowl. So I mean, it ended up being really good. She made some nachos.
Did she
so-
make up for it?
Yeah, the nachos were good.
Okay, that is a plus, because if it would have been a flop, it'd have been like, hey, next time just melt some cheese or something. I don't know.
Queso.
So then I dropped my wife off because my kids are in the back seat. And I'm not going to get out, and that'd just be a way bigger mess because it's already packed in there. So I'm just driving around, and I am turning around to pick up my wife, and I can't get to her because, first of all, the people just walk back and forth. There's my second deal. People who just walk back and forth and don't look around for other cars, and it happened to people, they were just wearing Packers jerseys. People who wear jerseys who aren't even playing in the Super Bowl. I saw Packers and Cowboys. I'm like, first of all, your teams ain't playing. And second of all, watch where you're going. You don't just walk in front of a car. Doesn't make any sense. Out of nowhere.
I'm praying that wasn't me.
No, but I'm just like,
I was wearing a
people
Cowboys
who walk
jersey
in front of
at
cars without looking, just because it's a parking lot of a supermarket, and people who wear jerseys of the team who's not even playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you wearing Packers stuff?
Non-competing teams, basically.
Yes, it doesn't make any sense. And then here's my third one. People who park in front of the supermarket when it's not an unload and load zone and park, put on their hazard lights, cause a bunch of traffic, and are loading their groceries into their car in front of the store. In front of the store.
We gotta get a camera on this guy. Please sign off on your consent
guys,
so we can show your
So
face.
please explain this, like
is
right in
not-
front of the
this-
doors.
Yes, this is, and you guys know what Save Mart's like. This
Yeah.
is not like Walmart like pickup.
No.
You know, like they parked in front of the store, opened up all their doors, opened up the back, put on their hazard lights, and cars are just sitting there. Because cars can't go the other way because people are walking
yeah.
back and forth.
Correct.
So we're like 10 cars deep on both sides just sitting there.
Waiting for this Yahoo.
Waiting for this like old fart to move. Like, dude, you are not handicapped. Like,
Well,
go park somewhere or park in the handicap.
Well, here's the deal.
Well, I mean,
like,
you-
I understand where you're coming from, but you're kind of like, it's really a good idea. Like, I'm kind of tempted to do it.
No, it actually was illegal. Like, if a cop came over, he'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
Hopefully, they just give you a warning, though, at least the first time.
No,
No,
he
that's-
would be
that's
like
an atrocity. They
He
should
would
have
be
ticketed
like
him.
he would be a warning, but he's like clearly, and it's not even like it's not a big deal if it's like just a random day, but it's the stinking Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
there's a ton of people there already, and now you're causing a traffic jam when it was already bad.
Yeah, people are trying to get to the game.
I'm starting to think you're maybe that one guy that no one knows who he is on Kingsburg neighborhood news that just complains about people parking there to use
Like,
the
dude,
ATM.
I was almost to the point where I want to stick my head out the window and being like, hurry up. And I usually don't get that mad while I'm driving, but I got close to being like, what are you doing?
If his kids were in the car, you would have.
I would. If my daughter wasn't asleep in the back seat, I would have been like,
yeah.
stick my head out of the car, and be like, freaking move.
Seth would have came to the pod with a black eye just saying he should see the other guy.
Got beat up by some old dude.
My only
Curb stomp.
Hey, we are in full off-season mode at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
full
So wait.
off-season.
So hold on. Did you say anything?
No, I didn't because it ended up not being that many things. And that was what made it worse. Like, obviously, it would have been worse if he would have been like loading for like 10 minutes, but ended up loading for like 5. But for like 5. And it's like you have 5 bags. Like, it's literal bags. You could have walked out of the store and walked 10 more feet to the next open parking spot.
So like his, POC or PIC, excuse me, partner in crime pulled up.
Partner in crime pulled up, and the one person didn't load real quick. They both got out and proceeded to load 4 bags. And then he had to help his wife get back in the car. So I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. You need to
And
be a
then he
little more
proceeds
strategic.
to throw his cart into the nearest bush. And I'm like, you are so lazy. So lazy. I don't care how old you are.
We
So
need,
he just threw it like I know those like the cart on bush people like they like
we need
Yes.
more places to park shopping carts, though. Maybe every other parking space, because sometimes they're so far away.
it's true, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
I'm trying to shop. I just got done shopping. Now I got to go on a death march. To
It
return
was just
my
a whole
shopping cart.
trifecta of things.
and at
like
110.
fans walking in the middle of nowhere, like in the middle, and walking in front of moving vehicles and making me stop, and then not wearing the right jersey.
Yeah.
And it's just a trifecta. I didn't want to be there in the first place either.
I got breaking news for you guys.
What's up?
Chad Henne retired.
No, not my favorite Wolverine.
Good old Chad Henne. He's done. Super
Henne.
Bowl champ. He's
Super Bowl
out.
champ. He won a playoff game 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's out. He quit. He's retired.
Was he inactive?
No.
He was the backup today. He
Who
he
was the
warmed
backup?
up.
Who was the inactive? I thought the Chiefs had an inactive
Was it
quarterback.
Clyde
Yeah,
Edwards?
no, it was like Shane Boucher or
I thought I saw
Buchler.
that they had to keep you on.
Is,
Bobby?
is,
Yeah,
is
but-
Clyde is Clyde Edwards? Is this a contract here?
He's
I don't
done,
know.
man.
I can't wait to get to our free agency preview, get into some draft talk. We'll be here all year, guys.
We will be here all
Yeah,
darn
whether you like
we
it or
also we also have Super Bowl next year Super Bowl odds up already. You guys want to hear the odds?
Yeah, let's hear him.
Chiefs.
What do you think? Yeah, who do you guys think
Chiefs
the
and
odds
Eagles
are?
for sure.
I'm gonna say it's.
Chiefs, Eagles, then
I'm gonna be surprised if it's like Chiefs 49ers.
Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers.
You guys like top 5? What do you guys think top 5?
Chiefs, Eagles, 49ers,
Bengals.
Bengals, and
Bills.
then there's
Bills.
Bills,
That's
yeah.
the top 5. So we got Eagles the favorite. I mean, Chiefs the favorite at plus 600. On what I'm looking at, on the book that I'm looking at, Buffalo is plus 850, Bengals plus 900, Eagles plus 900, Niners plus 900. So Chiefs a significant favorite, and then you got the Bills, Bengals, Eagles, Niners, all around the same odds. Then you got to drop off to the Cowboys plus 1,500. Ravens plus 1,600. Chargers plus 2,000. And then you have like the Lions, Packers,
Where's the Seahawks?
Jaguars, Jets, all about plus 2,500. Seahawks are plus 6,000.
Wow.
The Vikings aren't anywhere. I didn't hear you say the Vikings, right?
The Vikings are plus 4,000.
They're already coming out with like some early mock draft stuff, which is looking pretty crazy. Like
The draft's going to be fun this year.
it's going to be awesome. Like people we're getting way too far ahead of us, but I thought I'd bring this up because I thought it was interesting. People are thinking Bijan Robinson maybe to the Bills.
Yeah, I've seen him going to the Cowboys also.
I've seen him really. I've seen him going to the Bills, and then also it wasn't the Cowboys, but one other team. But that'd be kind of crazy to have him at the Bills with like that running back squad that they have there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with like stuff like that. We need to see like where these free agency running backs go. We have some quarterbacks. Speaking of just recent NFL news, that Derek Carr, he got released, right?
Yeah, he's officially able to
because he said he wasn't accept the trade.
Yeah, he's officially able to go wherever, but he also yeah, you're right, Seth.
He wasn't accepting a trade to the Saints. I think he wants to take his chances in free agency, I think.
And maybe probably wants to be maybe a little bit closer to California, but I don't think he's going to
I don't think like just talking about that, like we don't know what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson.
Lamar, no. Daniel Jones.
I think they're going to re-sign Daniel Jones.
I'm pretty sure they will.
I think they'll re-sign Daniel Jones.
Okay.
The Bucks have an opening for a quarterback.
Bucks have an opening.
Not sure what the Titans are
Colts
doing.
probably want to draft somebody, I would imagine, but they could make a move.
The
maybe
Colts
a
are
bridge.
looking at Levis, I think.
Yeah.
But maybe a bridge guy. You bring Carr in for 2 years or something. Or
There's a lot of really weird quarterback situations too. You have the Niners situation. That one's kind of
like
weird.
Jimmy G might go somewhere or
Jimmy
whatever.
G. You also have the Seahawks. They're in a weird quarterback situation, I would say as well.
I think they might draft one this year.
Yeah, because they're not going to stick it out with Geno.
No.
Maybe another year though.
I think they might have to.
Yeah.
What's weird is there are two. I think Clark, I know Dunlap for sure, and Clark both were on the Seahawks defensive line, and they both won a Super Bowl today. Frank Clark and Carlos Dunlap, which is wild.
Yeah. What about
And our defense was terrible when they were there.
Yeah.
They had the NFL awards this week. What did you guys think of George Kittle singing and Kirk Cousins singing?
Oh, Kirk Cousins is so cringy.
I did not see the.
You didn't see that?
no.
He's saying since he is gone, they're referring to Tom Brady. And it was like, we can win for the first time. I didn't mind it that bad. I thought
He leaned into it, but it was
Yeah.
pretty cringy.
and they like told him to do it. And he's like, yeah, he's not afraid to like do something.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's probably going to help him in the future of like broadcasting or whatever, that he's kind of just down to do stuff.
I think he'll
like
have the
that.
same problem as Drew Brees. Like he's not entertaining.
What about Brady posting that risque picture?
Yeah,
on
the thirst
social
trap.
media?
Oh man, yikes! Yeah, I didn't know where you're going with that first, but yeah,
yeah, the thirst trap.
Yeah.
Talking about
Trent said it,
Talking about his
so.
underwear picture?
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, when you're rich and retired, you can basically do whatever you want.
and
you know what I'm saying?
and single.
And single that we know of.
That we know of.
I would assume if he posted that he's single.
I think he might be off the market.
Well,
There's
I
been
think
rumors.
I think he's trying to sell that underwear though. Like, but here's the
It's
deal.
clearly working.
We haven't tried Brady brand, but I'd put Manscaped underwear up against it.
Absolutely.
Maybe one of us needs to reenact that picture
No.
to help get more dudes 20. It's not a terrible idea, you know.
If I get paid, I'll do it.
$20 is $20.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, I think we are getting too far off
Yes,
the
we
rails
are.
right
I'll
here.
hit the algorithm hard.
All right.
Seth won't even put a camera on his face in these videos, but hey, let's do an underwear pick. Like, whatever. All right. Well, hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see you hopefully next week, and we should have a draft coming later this week is all. We will see you next time, and as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.